our final panelist at the kitchen table. And I don't know if you all noticed to an extent that we, as typical in the kusinan sanhiyong, it's by rank, and rank is from oldest to youngest. Being number 13 of 15 in my family, I'm always being told what to do. You know, the younger ones are always the tentagu. And then the older ones, of course, are the directors, and they tell us, you know, what to do, how to make this, how to, you know, chop the onions just right, things like that. So everybody has a role in that kusinan sanhiyong. And some first time in the kusinan sanhiyong, all you need to do is listen and follow directions, right? Right, James? Right, Dr. Anita? We have to follow instructions or else you're going to get scolded. That's the part about reaffirming and learning. And so, you know, this kusinan sanhiyong, this conversation, convening this and trying to cultivate a culture of connecting. I have to disclose my selfishness. I was spiraling into that dismal pit of, you know, uncertainty and worrying about, you know, what tomorrow is going to look like. And as we were leading up to this liberation, you know, Guampedia has been serving the online community. And now that our new reality is online, we felt that we needed to reach out and to convene this kind of conversation. And because my biggest fear, and it was a question my son had last year at the Menengan Memorial. I said, son, how do you feel? He's 18, he's part of the class of 2020. They just graduated. But last year at the 75th commemoration, I asked him, I said, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about us coming together to honor what took place here in our Manana? Because both my parents were there at Menengan. And his response was, Mom, I'm wondering 20 years from now, 40 years from now, are we gonna have this still? Is this still gonna be here that I can bring my children to experience it and to connect with it? Because that power of place is so important. And so as we were coming close, and I was thinking about, you know, the program and talking with James and Val and Dr. Anita, and I was wanting to go through these things, and I was looking at some of the content we have in Guampedia. And then the one thing that struck me was music. You always have music and stuff going on in the back kitchen. And so I'm like, we have to have music. And during World War II, they had music too. And a song of hope that served our manana was the Uncle Sam song. It was a song of hope to the Chamorro people, and it was used to sing different versions of it, all the while a smile on your face. Both children and adults during that time learned and sang the song throughout the occupation period, although it was forbidden by the Japanese authorities. It was a ditty that was urging the return of the Americans. And one of the versions of the song that was not so silly to the Japanese occupying authorities went like this. 8th of December, I can't sing, okay, so I have to read it out. 8th of December, 1941, people went crazy right here in Guam. Oh, Mr. Sam, my dear Uncle Sam, won't you please come back to Guam? Other versions included a stanza telling Americans to hurry up and come back with camels and Chesterfields because we're tired of smoking Japanese cigarettes. It was Tun Pete Rosario and his gangs that invented the song, and that printed versions of it nowadays aren't always the same as the ones that were sung during the war. And so one night I was staying up very late, trying to percolate and figure out what kind of conversation we should have in this back kitchen. And because some of us, we can't command it, it just happens. And I thought, you know, the Uncle Sam song, and that would be a good way. And then the very next morning, I got a missed call from my daughter Zaya, and I called her back and she said, hey Mom, I just finished rewriting a song from an old song, and I want you to listen to it. And I said, oh really? What song did you rewrite? And she said, the Uncle Sam song. I was fugu. I had goosebumps all over. And I knew that my mother, now I'm going to cry, Belle. I knew that my mother, Teneng Gracia, who entered eternal life, the spirit life 3 years ago, she was takaing. She was leaning into my consciousness and connected my consciousness with my daughter, my Hagen Guahan, because she said, Mom, it's the Uncle Sam song. And I just like, and that's what this program really, and the people that have been around this table, it's been our manana that, because I was opening up myself up to them and said, I'm not sure what to do. Can you please guide me? Can you please show me the way? And here we are. And so I need to introduce my daughter. I didn't have to ask her who her parents were, but I do have to say that 50% of the responsibility of her existing is from Ricky Edward Nauta, Familian Annie Kamatsu from Zortnia, as well as Familian Ignacio and Nauta from Sinohanya. And she grew up behind the rooster. You have the roosters. It's you hear the roosters crowing. She grew up in our clan household in Windward Hills in Elik, and then here in Santa Rita when we moved here 15 years ago. And then she, after high school, after taking a gap year and saving up her money, she wanted to go on a mission to Hawaii to go to school. And so she went off to Hawaii, and she's been at the University of Hawaii, Manoa, learning there on the campus, but also learning in the community, in the Hawaii community. And so, and she's also a blogger. She calls herself Hagen Guahan. And so I asked her, and actually I voluntold her. That's how it works in families, you get voluntold. I voluntold her to participate and to share with us her connection and what inspired her to adapt this song. And then we're going to premiere it right here in our kusinan sanhiyong. And then you'll be able to, she's going to be releasing it tomorrow on her blog and on Instagram in commemoration of the 76th Liberation Day. So Zaya, Francesca, Pangalina, Nauta.
Good day. Is the audio okay? I heard we were having troubles earlier. Good. Good, okay. Aloha mai kako. I am here in the island of Oahu in He'eia. It's on the windward side of the island, and I've been here for 4 years. And I have been attending, I first started at Kapiolani Community College, and now I'm at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. And I've actually taken a break this year to, one, gain residency because school is very expensive, and at the same time, kind of root myself deeper over here. I really submerged myself in the community. Like, I've done my absolute best, and I've actually been working at a Native Hawaiian farm for the past year, and we grow the staple crops of the Hawaiian people, and at the same time we're restoring the land and trying to get it back to, you know, its former glory before colonization and whatnot. So I am so mahaling right now, and I'm glad I'm in the virtual back kitchen because I would give anything to be in the actual back kitchen again. Smell like smoke in my hair and having, you know, tessa and drinking wine with my family, but happy to be here. And the history of the Uncle Sam song started for me when I was a teenager, and I was very fortunate to be taking care of my grandma. I was, I don't want to say the primary caregiver, but I took care of her at least 4 nights a week, 2 days a week, and she passed away when she was 92. So I was very, very, very fortunate to have, you know, her as a direct link to our history and her history, and then the stories from before that. And so I feel like I have a kind of a unique perspective in a way, because I was partially raised by her, and then I was also raised, you know, by my parents, of course, and in this kind of Western educational system, and also in this Westernized economy, and then, but still kind of connected to the past. And even though I wasn't there, it's inside of me to farm and to live off the land and to live so close to it and to be dependent on it. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing here. I'm trying to connect with the Manyaina here. Sorry. And so again, it was one night when after we had merienda, I was sitting with my grandma and her sister Nansari at the dinner table. She was drinking her wine and we're just talking story, and somehow we were talking about the war, and Nansari started singing her version of the song, Uncle Sam, come and kill the Japanese. I'm like, whoa, that's pretty intense. And then they started talking a little bit more, and my grandma's version was what my mom said earlier, Uncle Sam, my dear Uncle Sam, won't you please come back to Guam? And that really stuck with me. I only knew that part. And I feel like, again, like the inspiration for writing this song, it kind of just, like all of my inspiration, it just comes unto me. I cannot channel it. It's like, okay, you're gonna write this today, and it just comes in it, and then it comes out. And but being here for the past 4 years, it's been kind of hard to celebrate certain things because I'm not home, like for like reoccupation, liberation, and also, you know, the family anniversaries, my grandma's death anniversary, and other family traditions. But this year, 4 years, I'm like, I just felt really compelled to celebrate and commemorate liberation and World War II, and as best as I could. And it was this song that really came into my heart. And when I was writing it, I felt like I realized that I was writing it, you know, to tell the story of the past and how we feel about the present and what can become of the future. And it's also from a very political, or not political, but from the standpoint of self-determination, because that has been on the hot seat for the past few years, and that's what a lot of the younger generation has been focusing on. And that's kind of the context of the song. So there are some verses where, like, you know, it seems really straight up, but it has, you know, it has a deeper meaning that we can probably go over afterwards, or you can take however you can take it, or however you need to, because I know how I needed to take it, and I mean it. So this is also my first music video. It's technically a music video, and I did it all on my phone, so it may not be the best, but I did my best, so please enjoy. Try again. December 1941, people went crazy right here in Guam. You took all your people and left us here to die with a handful of guns and only a few guys on Mr. Sam. Sam, my dear Uncle Sam, how could you leave Guam? Japanese occupation wasn't that great. Beheadings, enslavement, massacres, and rape. For 4 long years we suffered in your war. We didn't know what they were killing us for. Oh, Mr. Sam, Sam, my dear Uncle Sam, won't you please come back to Guam? If we've been liberated, why are you still here? Not much has changed in 76 years. Thank you for your service, now you can go. We want to some more, cause this is our home. Oh, Mr. Sam, Sam, my dear Uncle Sam, won't you please give us back Guam? Oh, Mr. Sam, Sam, my dear Uncle Sam, won't you please give us back Guam? Oh, Mr. Sam, Sam, my dear Uncle Sam, won't you please give us back Guam?
Jesus Maasi Hagal. It was very beautiful. And we encourage, especially our younger generations, to connect to this period of time in our history, to our Manana stories, and hope that it inspires you as we navigate to our present and to our tomorrow. And that you continue as our Back Kitchen series, Culture of Connecting, will be our next program next week, Monday, July 27, same time, tomorrow standard time from 10 o'clock to 11:30. And I also wanted to, not to make Zaya and James and all of you who are not here more mahaling, because you cannot leave the back kitchen without, some food or some sort. So I had my daughter pick some puntan calamasa, pumpkin tips, and also the fresh mint. And I have to confess, I am not the cook. I'm not the chef in my kitchen. My husband, Rick, is. I just make things happen and I'm cleanup. But in our panelists today, we had Baltazar and Zaya, who said their favorite dishes were mitsidzas. And so we always have mitsidzas at our fiesta table. I don't make it, I make it happen. Thanks to my friend Norma in Agate. And so this is how she packages the mitzidza, kind of like hot dogs. And I order it frozen. And then all you have to do is put it all in the pot with some coconut milk. And that look, pues siempre you're gonna have pairi mangi na mitsidzas with the puntan calamasa. Sizus Maasi for all of you, Dr. Anita, James, Batazat, Shannon, Zaya, and to our back of the house, Guampedia, Natalie, Pareda, and Lazaro Kanata, for making our back kitchen, our first kusinan sanhiyong back kitchen table conversation happen. And actually, usually things don't happen on time, but always at the end, everything comes together. But we did start on time and we're actually just a few minutes maybe over time. And so please join us. All you need to do is register by emailing guampedia@gmail.com. And the theme for our next kusinan sanhiyong conversation is going to be culture and values in crisis. And we've really made that connection of how what we're experiencing now reflects what our manana, not to the extent that they did, but what we can glean from them about how we can move forward and work with what we have and work together to be stronger, especially as a family, especially as a community. And so we're going to continue the focus of the conversation next week about the culture, the Chamorro culture, and the values that help them through that crisis and can help us through the crisis we face on a day-to-day basis on our journey. And maybe if I can ask each one of you to just say adios and Jesus Maasi. All of you are our guests at the kitchen table.
Adios. Jesus Maasi. Adios. Just Marcy.
Adios. Adios, Marcy.
Adios, Marcy. Adios.
Maria.
Oh, adios. Introduce Marcy. Look.
Adios and Biba mañana.
Iba.
Iba.
Biba.
Zeus Monsi, everyone. Zeus Monsi for joining us. And Biba Liberacion. Biba. Biba Liberacion. Biba. Biba Tsamoru. Biba.
Viva.